Hi, and welcome to my channel, How Chandra Does Food. And I'm Chandra. Today we are making a coconut pound cake, and I am converting it from a regular recipe to a sourdough recipe. So I'll be changing some things, changing some more things, because that's how I bake, and we'll see how it goes. Come on along. Good morning. I'm making ice cream. This is my third batch of the weekend. It's Sunday. This one is pistachio. Here we have it, getting ready to go in. Let's give it a little stir. So I made vanilla. I made this pistachio, which has been infused with pistachios, and we'll get some whole pistachios added towards the end of churning. And I made myself a salted peanut butter cocoa milk. It's very good. I've already made that one and had it. Okay, I've poured it in. I'm starting up the machine. That is going to churn for about 20 minutes. And here's the only problem with making ice cream. I like to make the custard style ice cream, which is egg yolks. And I use my raw milk, and I get raw cream when I want to make ice cream. It's not raw anymore because I've cooked it to make the custard, but it's possible to do without cooking. It just makes it really thick and creamy when you cook it a little bit. So egg yolks means I have so many egg whites left over, and sometimes I don't make the custard style just so I won't have egg whites, because I won't throw them away, or I really don't want to. Sometimes they sit in my freezer long enough that I have to, and that's a problem. So what I have found to do with the egg whites is to add them to baked goods. So it calls for a whole egg. I've looked up how much an egg weighs. It's 40 grams, so I use 40 grams of egg whites, and it works great. Well, I have a mess in the sink from breakfast, which you can't see, but it's in there. And I am going to churn this ice cream, clean that up, and then we're gonna get to making a coconut cake, and we're gonna use those egg whites instead of eggs. And I also want to ferment that coconut cake, even though it doesn't call for fermentation. I'm gonna mix it up and let it sit until it rises. I'll omit the baking powder, let it sit until it rises, and then I'll bake it. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to add the pistachios. So let me show you. This is quite thick. I have about a cup. Just a little bit of time. There they go. Working their way in. I don't always remember to do this, but it really is helpful. I put my container in the freezer. I have very little time. Nora's happy right now, but no knowing how long she'll be happy for. So I'm going to mix all this together, and I'm not really gonna follow the directions I'm mixing. I'm just gonna put it together. So I'm making my coconut cake out of this book. I'm sure there's all sorts of official ways to do this, but one thing I am going to do is cream the eggs and the sugar together. I'm doubling this recipe, that's why it's so huge, which really you're really supposed to double baking recipes, but I'm hardly following any of the rules to begin with, so might as well let go of that one one too. Okay, so I'm going to cream these together. This works and does not create meringue because of the fat in the coconut sugar. So it's going to be in my favor here. Okay, that's a little thicker. I feel my time running short. So I'm going to add my starter and blend that because I want to make sure it gets worked all the way through. I'm using a 1/4 cup, so this is where I'm deviating big time from the recipe. This recipe calls for baking powder as the rising agent, but I am going to use my spelt starter. I could use any starter really though. And I want to let that, make sure that gets worked all the way through. I think what I would do if I was using regular sugar instead of coconut sugar, so I wouldn't have the fat to keep those eggs from turning to meringue, is I would add maybe the oil, the coconut oil, in while I cream that together, because oil, that's why you can't get a yolk into your whites when you're making meringue. Okay, it will stop the meringue from happening. So this is my next wet ingredient. This is coconut milk. Here's Nora. You want to see, don't you? Here, this is what we're doing. I'm going to fold the oil in last, and all I need to do now is get that flour in here and the coconut chips. I might fold those in with the oil. The flour needs to be sifted, so I need 2 hands. Yeah, there's my empty things. You know what? I might just skip sifting the flour in the interest of doing this. Whoa, look at all that. That's a lot of coconut cake. So this calls for a loaf pan. I'm going to put it in a 9x9 square pan. Hopefully it will fit. I'm doing this just in time. My coconut oil is starting to harden again. I never bake like this, where all the ingredients are measured. It is pretty nice. I put on the oven light, and that is just the right amount. It's also how I do my yogurt. It's just the right temperature. So let's put this into the oven. So I will turn the light on, and I will put my little note which says yogurt, because that's what I'm usually doing in the oven, but this means do not turn it on. Okay, I covered it with some plastic wrap to keep it moist, and it's going in the oven with the light on. fell in the middle. I'm wondering if that is actually because I didn't work it enough when I was mixing it. I have read with gingerbread that you want to mix it really well to activate the gluten so that it has the strength to hold up. This is a heavier cake, and I wonder if this is also like that. And Einkorn would have less gluten, and making it sourdough would degenerate the gluten more. So I'm thinking I'll do this again, and I will stir it, actually work it a little harder, and see if I can get that to not have a dip, although it's not much of a dip at all. This cake is so good. Look, you can see the coconut flakes in there, and I think I have more egg whites, and I think I'll make it again, and I might make it with white sugar because it's really pretty when it's white. And the coconut sugar, I feel like it's better. I don't know, really, in the scheme of things, if it really improves the sugar's effect on your body that much at all. But yeah, the white sugar will be pretty. And I have made this before without fermenting it, and it is not as good when it's not fermented. This is so good. It has the coconut, but it also has that underlying tangy sourdough flavor, and it is way moister and way lighter. The coconut, the original recipe without the fermentation, was a little heavy and dense, and I thought it was fine at the time, but I didn't love it, and I love this. I love it. I'll try a piece right now. It is really, really good. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next Monday for more baking, groceries, experiments in my kitchen. Bye-bye.